Hello, hello, everyone. Happy Sunday. We got a phone on over there. I got to lower your volume. So, welcome to the Mindminx show. I am your favorite Mindminx, and as always, we are here live at Mix Vibes Radio. And I have a super special guest, and I know I say this every week, but I actually mean it this time. So, everyone always asks me, how did I start doing this? And I have to say, I got lucky enough to meet a pretty great guy who believed in me and introduced me to some important people, which led me here. And I finally have him in studio with me. So everyone, please, can we do another round of applause right now?
My God,
yeah. I need to do this. Mr. Vinny Cuevas. Hello, sir.
Hello. Wow, you guys are humbling me here. Woo.
I hope not.
I'm humble.
I don't want you to be humble.
I accept the praise, but I mean, you did this through talent, Sally. I introduced you to people. It's just how the business is. You introduced, but I didn't guarantee anything. And
I know.
You did it on your own, but God bless you. Such a great show, and I'm honored to be here, to be honest.
Thank you.
The minute you invited me, I said, I'm on. So I've been a little busy, but never busy enough for great people and great talent.
Well, let's talk about that busy, because that's an
Let's
awesome thing to do.
Let's do it.
And I'm glad that you've gotten to be busy, because I know this was a very trying year for you.
Oh, yeah, it's been a rough. And before we get into anything, I just want to apologize for the sunglasses. The light's a little too bright, so.
Oh, gosh, no, it completely
sinuses,
goes with the whole
sensitivity.
persona.
I don't want people to think I'm trying to be like really cool, even though I am.
No, you are super cool.
But I don't want to, I don't want to give that impression. So, yeah, let's get back to that. So, yes, it's been trying times. As you guys know, I lost my son. And, it's strange how sometimes in life, when everything seems to be going well, nothing really happens. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that makes any sense. Mm-hmm. But when you get hit with traumas in life, then good things that were supposed to happen then start happening now, where the good things start happening at the wrong moment. So you got to make a choice. Either you drown in sorrow or you roll with the punches. So I decided to roll with the punches. So a lot of things are happening. Like I said, at the wrong time. You were at my son's wake. Mikey was at my son's wake, and it hasn't been easy for me. Not by a long shot, but I just, like they say, I'm never going to move on, but I'm going to move forward. And that's the best I can do, and that's the best I can give. But when I do give something, I give it 110%. And so that's where I'm at now. A lot of offers. I'm traveling, as you see. I missed your birthday party. Yep. And just to go to Florida for a couple of days, and I'm going to LA now in December. I was in Texas, so good things are happening. But I need to have the feeling mentally and physically that I do professionally. Like right now, I'm not feeling that. Like I want to celebrate things to an extent, and I'm unable to do it because it's emotionally I can't do it yet. But I don't want empathy or anything like that. I just want people to know that anything is possible. And yeah, the show goes on. It's just like I say, you move forward, you don't move on, and I'm never going to move on, but I'm moving forward, and I'm living with this. As the holidays come in, it gets a little more sentimental for me, and but that's where I'm at. So, but
and anybody who knows you knows that you go to visit your son
twice a week.
I was going to say almost daily, yeah.
It's 90 minutes away from me, yeah, twice a week, and I find solace in that. And it sounds strange because that's probably a place you would be the most depressed. And it's because it's just me and him, and whatever conversations I didn't have with him when he was alive, or I did have with him. Because me and my son had we were more like brothers. But because, he was born when I was 16 years old. Mm-hmm. So I didn't know much about being a dad. His mother, she was 16. She didn't know much about being a mom either. Mm-hmm. We did the best we could. But he my mother kind of raised them, so we were raised more like brothers. So, you know,
Okay.
it's like we had that tough love, you know,
Okay.
like I didn't baby him. I told him what was right, what was wrong. And till his last breath, he can tell you that kid never even took a drink in front of me at 33 years old, out of respect.
That's
not
awesome.
You know, so
Yeah.
and that's the way we live. But you know, we get hit with that. You know, life ain't the way it's supposed to be. So that's where I'm at now.
Bad things
and,
happen to good people, but you know what? It always brings out something.
You know, I don't wish this not even
extraordinary.
on bad people.
Yeah.
I don't wish this on anybody. You know, it's brutal, and I don't even want to get people out there to even think that. And even though I have friends that can relate to that, Debbie and Raphael, we've been through that, so I speak to them because they helped me pull through, because they went through it.
Mm-hmm.
And they too, at one point, thought it was over for them. And I still think that at times, but I snap out of it. You know, I got to be there for my mom, who's just broken. You know, my daughter, his mom, everybody around us that are just destroyed. You know, and at times it's a little harder for me because I got to be that patriarch, that tough guy,
Sure.
and keeping it.
And
you
you're
know,
not allowed
and
to
then
break down.
It's just if I do it, I just make it worse for them. But then when I get home, I collapse. Or if I'm in the
Must be
cemetery,
exhausted.
oh my goodness, like you wouldn't believe. Like I'm putting more collagen than ever on my face now. I'm serious. I got like 3 different ingredients at night. I look like the Mask.
But it's doing wonders for you. Look
I
amazing.
appreciate it because I swear to God, I said if I haven't aged, and I'll be 50, yeah, if I haven't aged thus far,
You're not gonna
then
start
I'm
now.
just not gonna age because I've taken a mental beating.
So really quickly, we have some friends of yours on. We have Sandra and Richie watching.
Oh, those are my
Oh
best friends.
Yes,
Yeah,
they are
Sandra,
here.
and
So
they
I
crazy
just wanted
as
to make
shit too. But I love, especially Sandra. Boy, she's a trigger. Oh, but I love her because she's me, the opposite of me. You know. And listen, they've always been there to support, and I will never forget them. And I met you through Richie. So,
Yes,
and I know Richie
yes.
1,000 years. So
She said you're doing well.
yeah. Sandra's a good person. I love her. She got COVID 3 times, according to her. And I think it was just to bail out on one of our
Sandra,
she got
so
three
did you
times.
really get COVID
Yeah,
3 times, or
3
was just
times,
your
yeah.
your excuse to get out of it?
Yeah, she was,
She said that they love you.
I love her.
All right, so let's go on to more. Well, actually, I think you wanted to talk about what actually happened with your son to bring some awareness to,
Okay.
which apparently is a big thing.
This
happening.
is the first time I spoke about this. And, you know, I have to bring awareness because as we speak, there's somebody out there going through it right now. And my son had neck surgery like 4 years ago,
Okay.
double fusion. If you notice, when you never got to meet him, but you probably saw pictures, he had a big tattoo in his neck.
Yes.
But that was only to cover the
scars.
laceration,
Okay.
the scars. And
Okay.
my son, and I couldn't attack him too much because he was stubborn like me. He didn't want to go to physical therapy. You know, I'm a tough guy. I'll beat anybody up, and that type of dude he was. So he didn't go to physical. So he never really fully healed. And you know, when you're in the doctor, they pump you with pills. You know, Percocet, opioids, but they only give you like 4 or 5 days of that.
Right.
But not knowing that 4 or 5 days of that poison can addict you.
Sure.
I'm not saying he was addicted. I'm just saying he was always suffering from this pain. So when, you know, he'll ask the doctor, listen, you know, we can't give you that. But then, you know, the pain was so severe that he had friends that
Could get it.
That could get it. It happened for several years, and that just that one fateful day, they laced him with fentanyl, you know, and he never woke up. I want to get a meeting with the mayor or the mayor-elect Adams because we got to bring awareness to this.
I'm
This
starting
poison
to hear
is in
some.
the street, and it's not only in pill form, it's in drug. Listen, everybody chooses to do drugs. That's their personal choice, so they know the risks they take just by taking the drug itself. Nobody deserves to be poisoned.
Right.
You know, nobody goes out there saying, yo, I want to get some fentanyl and I want to get high. Seldomly, there might be a few, like Prince knew what he was taking. So the dangers were there. But, you know, when you poison somebody like that, it's just, we got to put these animals in jail. You know, and I can easily, speaking about, we're going to segue into this probably, I can easily take the vigilante route because I know exactly who provided all this stuff.
Sure. Well, you know.
And not that I didn't think about it.
Well, apparently you can.
But
In
it,
2021
yeah,
you
yeah.
can.
So I just realized maybe I could do it. You know what I'm saying? So,
Just do it in Wisconsin so that judge will acquit you as well.
well, I'll request them here, right? I'll email and say, I need you here in New York. So, yeah, so, you know, my son was a warrior. I mean, I've had him here in the show with Mike. Mike knows we did a skit together. And we made it very believable. Like, he was, you know, that was my dude. And, you know, I cry every day. I don't cry in front of people. I don't. I mean, I have my sunglasses. It could be an excuse just in case I start draining. But
I'm a crier too, by the way. So
I think of the good things. You know,
Good.
he affected everybody. Everybody loved that kid. And, you know, God needed him more than I guess we did. So he's up there. But I want to bring awareness to everybody. Just, you know, no matter how old your kids are, because a lot of men especially think that they pay child support on their fathers.
That's in.
It's a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, that is bullshit.
That's a bunch of bullshit. Spending time with them, talking to them, advising them. I don't care how old they are.
Yep.
You hear, man, I can't wait till my kids are 18 so I can stop paying, you know, child support. You're not a man.
Yep.
You know, you're not even a father. You know, anybody could be that. I was with that kid till the end, fighting him, because I used to fight with him all the time till the end. Till you know, even that same day we were arguing over some stupid shit, over a gym membership. But you know, and I will forever be broken, but I will not go around like seeking empathy. I just want to bring awareness to everybody. You know, I don't want people to cry with me and stuff like that. I don't want people to feel sorry for me. I want people to lift me up like you guys have, you know. They've been, you know, everything's going to be all right, you know. And, you know, because there's people that tell you, oh, I know what you're feeling. No, you don't.
How
No,
could
you
you
don't. I
possibly?
appreciate what you're trying to tell me, but you have no idea,
Yeah.
and nor should you ever want to find out. You know, so that's what's going on, Sally. You know,
See,
it's
I'm
a
a
daily
crier.
struggle.
Thanks a lot, man.
No, listen,
Dude.
it's a daily struggle, hon. You know, but hopefully those tears are just over somebody else's pain, not over yours. You don't want that, and you will never have that. Just
I
put it
love
like
that you said that.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
really cool. I
Yeah.
like that. All right, so we are definitely brought some awareness. I actually have seen a couple of videos, a couple of news articles pop up about it. So I think, you know,
I'm gonna do my part to make a difference here in New York. Because the mayor we have is a total disaster now. It's like I wouldn't even bother going to that guy. But with Adams, and he's a Democrat, I'm a Republican. But right now, this is an issue that concerns everyone.
everybody. Yeah.
You know, this ain't a political issue.
Right.
And if I could do my part, and if I get murdered for attempting it, then I'm not afraid. I'll join my son, but I'm not afraid. You know, I need justice, and I could do it. Like I said, I could do it on my own because I'm from the streets,
Yes.
from tough streets. But at the end of the day, it just hurts everybody who loves me, and you know, I have to think properly.
So now we're gonna segue.
Let's do it.
Nice pause. We did a nice little pause there,
Mhm.
and you brought it up. Let's do this. So, like, all right. So my engineer is not happy about this at all. He literally.
But you know, I have your engineer under control.
Thou shall not chime in on this one.
He literally called me last night. He's like, you know, I love you. He's like, but I'm not sure. I'm like, what? No, it's gonna be fine. He's like, what if it turns into a huge argument? Now I'm embellishing. He didn't.
No,
say
there is not going to be an argument
Yeah.
because
You know
I
what's
respect
funny?
people's opinions. Yeah.
You know what's funny? That she should have been around when we were all messing with Francis.
Francis might stop by the way.
Dude, well,
Maybe she said.
Oh.
So. But let's get into it. Come on.
Okay.
Come on,
Take
Sal. I'm
it.
not
All
afraid
right.
of you.
No, I'm not afraid of you. But here's the best part. Okay, so everybody already knows that I am a Democrat, but I'm a moderate. So I have
Correct.
some conservative views, especially when it comes to financial
Correct.
intentions, speakings. And you are Republican.
Correct.
All right, so first off, I just want to say I find that so odd that you're a Puerto Rican man from the Bronx and from a blue state, and you're Republican.
Okay, can I ask you why do you find that odd? Is it by being Hispanic and being from the Bronx by default you must be a Democrat?
No, not by default.
Okay.
And I love that you asked that. I think it's just because so many times when you think of the classical Republican definition, they're looking down at us.
But that's a stigma. That's not really true.
Is it though?
Yes. That's what
That's a false narrative.
That's what you hear in the blue states, and that because it's a control issue. And these same people that told me this are in the same place still 20 years from 20 years ago they were telling me this, but they're still in the same
place now.
And Republicans aren't, don't get me wrong, they're not the nicest people in the world. They're like that daddy that says, listen, you get your ass to work, I don't care if you're sick. Or but that's the way my parents were. It wasn't like you stay home, we take care of you, or the government takes care of you. So when I see that, it just pisses me off.
So, well, this is what pisses me off about my party, the same things. Yeah. Like, for instance, all of these, wait, Sandra said, because you're Cuban.
That is, well, that's not so reason. She's such a brat.
So, for the same reason, like, so I feel like all of these government programs that are available, and, you know, I know I'm going to so burn in hell for this right now, but the more kids you pump out, the more you get back from the fucking government.
And it's always been like that.
And I don't qualify for a goddamn other fucking thing, but I have my college degree. I have a full-time job. I pay all my fucking taxes. Apparently, I owe from 2019. Don't know how that happened, but I don't qualify for not one program.
And isn't that a shame? Because you work, you bust your ass, you have a degree. When you go to the supermarket or to the market, you're looking out for prices.
Yeah.
You got people who zero work effort. And they're in the supermarket just dumping salmon.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh!
I got to get the salmon that they grow on freaking Orchard Beach, and they get the one from Alaska.
Yeah, they get
you know,
the good one. You know,
so it pisses me off.
Breeze.
And these are healthy people.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's and that's why I say when it comes to finances, that's where my moderate views become conservative, because it completely really just astonishes me. But where I guess it differs is in instances about like abortion.
Okay, we could get into that.
Yeah. But here's my thing: I'm trying to get people to understand that trying to give everyone a moral decision to make about it. Is still negating that it's a woman's choice.
Okay.
She's the one that has to live with the decision whether or not, you know what I'm saying?
I agree.
I hate when people are like, well, and I have a really good friend who's also Republican, conservative, and he's like, all right, so then if you think 15 weeks is too soon, when do you think it should become illegal? And I was thinking about it this morning. I was like, but why is that still part of the question? It should be her choice. And she has to live with those consequences. Why are we, and I mean the men of the government, because there's only, 2 women that have any kind of voice, making this decision and trying to use morality as part of that conversation? I
get all that. I'm not completely against abortions, not when it comes to rape, not when it comes to incest, or if a woman's life depends on it. But to use it as a birth control, I'm against.
Right. No, it 100%. Shouldn't be used. But again,
because like I told you, I had my son and his mother. He was 16 years old. We didn't know shit. But I grew up in a conservative household where the word abortion wasn't even
right,
and it just never crossed my mind.
Were
because
you also
to
Catholic?
Us, yes, to us it was morally wrong.
Right.
You know, to us was killing a child. So I grew up believe in this, and I still believe in that. Do I condemn you for doing it? No. Do I think that I should tell you what to do with your body? No, because like you said, you got to morally deal with that.
That's all I'm asking.
But am I going to respect you for using it as a contraceptive? Probably not.
And that's another consequence of your decision.
Yeah, exactly.
But at the end of the day, you're in agreement, and that's what I'm saying. Like, this is why I told him, like, it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
He's waiting.
Yeah,
he's waiting.
He's not saying nothing.
And like
I'm
I
just
said,
saying, it should be a choice.
It's tricky when you say the government should get involved in a woman's body. I get that part, and but I also get theirs. But the thing is, with a lot of the Republicans, especially the religious ones, even if you're raped or you still, to them, you still got to have that child. Yeah. And there I'm not going with, because that's to no fault of her own.
Right.
You know, that she's having this child, and you know, you're having how do you even explain this to your child?
Yeah.
And I get that.
And how do you even, as a person who went through that trauma, and it's not and only people who have gone through it can answer this question, but how can a person who had that trauma forget that trauma and love the child? Like, that's a reminder.
I know women that can't give birth, that will give anything to.
What is he doing?
Yeah,
he's such a pain in the ass.
I know.
What is he doing?
What do you mean?
I know women that could give birth, that can't give birth, and will give anything to get. Then you have
Right.
women that could give birth and just say, "Oh, I don't want it."
Here, Vinny.
You know what's
It's
that,
a bunch of malarkey, as they say in my family.
He's such
That
a
sounds like Sleepy Joe. Is that him?
So no, you're right. So that, but my point is that well, so, all right. So then let's segue then into the next most logical question,
Yeah.
and I understand that, and
Do it.
I respect that point of view. How do you feel then about those red states that are so conservative that they do not approve of contraception or any type of sex education being taught to their children? Somebody's phone volume is up.
Religiously, I'm not a religious person. I was raised Catholic.
No.
I was raised Catholic,
Oh,
and I'm not religious. I'm very spiritual,
okay.
so I don't hide behind a Bible.
Right.
Never have.
At least you don't hold it upside down, right?
I believe in. Give me a second here.
We just think your volume is up. It's not your phone?
I believe in.
Okay.
I believe in contraceptives. I don't tell people not to.
Okay.
Not to use condoms or anything like that. I mean, I'm not against that. I mean,
Just say the
but what-
baby ain't yours.
You
That's
know,
it.
You're so stupid.
the hypocritical part about all of this is because even Republicans themselves, they're against all these things. But they commit a lot of adultery.
Of course.
They're involved in a lot of abortions, so they're a bunch of
Right.
hypocrites.
Yeah.
And I don't believe in that stuff, especially those that hide behind the Bible. Oh, God bless you and God this and that. Like I was telling a friend of mine that we're going to get into this about the case. So you're religious, but you're applauding somebody who just killed two people, whether justifiably or not. According to the Bible and according to them, God slaps you in the face, you turn your other cheek, right? But you're applauding the death of somebody else because this is your political party, so you're full of shit. That's where we differ. That's for me. I don't fall into that category.
Yeah, and that's actually
I'm
what
a Republican. I'm a Republican because I want people to make money.
Yeah.
I don't want people to be taken care of for doing not. I'm not a radical. I'll say shit on Facebook to spark up the fire.
Oh my God, yeah, you do.
But
we heard about that.
I'm like, I roll my eyes and I'm like, nope, I can't even comment.
because I just
Me and her be going at it,
but you
Vinny.
know what? It's therapy for me. Believe it or not. How the hell is that therapy? You're getting people upset. But no, I was raised like that, and I'm not a sheep.
I'm not.
I'm not gonna agree with everything my party does, and I don't.
Right.
And I've made it clear. Even with Trump, I made it clear with him too.
Well, and I'm not ashamed to say I know everyone's supposed to keep their voting practices private or whatever. I didn't vote for Joe Biden because
But you're
I don't.
honest about it.
Yes, I am honest about it. If I don't believe that who is the candidate running is my choice, I'm not going to. But I'm also not just going to vote for the other person.
Yeah, not throw a vote away.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
You know
get
how
that,
easy
and I
it is to
respect
look
that.
up who you voted for.
Oh, is it really? So why does everybody keep it so
I-
anonymous?
I-
Everybody's so afraid.
Like I didn't even know
I mean,
that they have this
why-
website that actually puts that.
But
out there.
people are anonymous. But why? I mean, you shouldn't be ashamed of who you vote
Yeah.
for. That's the way I look at it. I wasn't
Yeah.
ashamed
Yeah.
when I voted for Trump, but I said it. What you? I said, listen, I did it, and I'll tell you why I did it.
Richie said you guys have been politically fighting for years.
Oh,
and
me
you
and
still
Richie
are.
go. Richie's a liberal hack.
Oh gosh! Just don't
But
call
I
me a
love-
liptard.
But you
Let's
know,
stay
but
out
you know,
of the name.
it's hard to
calling.
argue with Richie because Richie's very intelligent.
Super intelligent.
So he knows when he's cornered, he start throwing these big words, and I start going to the dictionary. I'll say, what does he mean by this shit? That's when he starts getting me. When he starts getting really eloquent with me. But so I'm not radical like that, and I'm here in person. I'm telling you that, and even my friend. Like I posted today, I said, let's stop the nonsense already. Like you guys are making this 17-year-old look like Charles Bronson. Listen, I got my restraints on that. I don't agree with any of that.
That's okay. So this is what actually prompted me to want to have
Yeah.
this conversation. And Henry joined in from Henry Creep.
Oh, another
Q,
beauty.
Yeah. He said they clobber you.
Yeah, another beauty.
So. Oh, he said Richie makes you think. But that's a good thing. And the fact that you do think shows that you have the inclination to continue learning. All right, so I want to get into this Kyle Rittenhouse thing.
Yeah.
And I actually did some research. And when I told Mike I was going to do research, he's like, oh, shit, she's really going to do her research.
I do commend her on that because when she does have a guest, she does her homework. You know.
That's what
And
makes
she
it
called
good.
me
That's
last
the
night.
whole
She was
point.
like,
Yeah.
she called me last night. She was like, I can't believe he killed 2 black people. I'm like,
I
you
did
watch the
not. You're
trial?
such an
Did
ass.
you watch the trial?
Oh,
She's
yeah.
like,
I
he
never
didn't.
said that.
She's
You
like,
know
he
what?
didn't
If he did, he would have been guilty.
She said CNN said he did.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
So,
That's fake news.
That's
That's
fake
fake
news.
news.
and-
It's
and-
alternative
I was there.
news.
I was
and
there.
Vic was letting the chuleta burn the whole time, cursing me out. He was like, "What the hell is he saying?"
That's fake news.
Rick.
So wait, I wanted to tell you. I want you to ask me what articles did I read about this.
The Onion.
No,
It was in the Onion.
no. I refuse to read any articles written in this country about anything anymore.
No, me too.
You gotta like
Listen,
mix
I'm
and
not
match,
gonna lie.
like, mix it up and
I
make
was
your own.
I was a big Fox person, but
Wait, what-
even they've gotten too radical for me because then I'm just believing everything they're telling
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
You know.
Well, did you see the video? Not that I think earlier last week, where it was this woman. I don't know her name, and she was doing a side-by-side conversation like we are doing right now. And the guy says to her that they were talking about measles outbreak on, and I saw it on you. And she's like, on me? I've never done a show about measles. He's like, no, I saw them do an episode on the Netflix show about you. And she literally thought, instead of knowing, even when he said, there's a series on Netflix called You, she's like, there's a series on Netflix called Me, Carol, whatever her name was. I forgot what her name. Like, she really fucking believed. Like, it didn't click.
That was like, who's on first and who's on second?
Exactly. That's exactly what the guy was like, okay, I'm done. I can't continue
Too
doing
much.
this. Yeah. But that was on Fox News. In any case, so I read an article by the BBC.
They're pretty neutral.
What?
I'm not saying nothing.
Yeah, you were about to.
Was it part of Bang Bros?
Oh my god.
What?
Was it part of Bang Bros? BBC. God, never mind. Go.
No.
Yeah.
That's BBW. That's BBW.
You see why she mutes me and Vic?
Richie said, love you guys.
We know where his mind is at, Mike.
I do, Lord,
Yeah.
always. That's BBW, by the way,
Yeah.
not BBC. So I read this article because Europeans hate us anyway. So I figured that's going to be the most unbiased, write-up about it. And I didn't realize, I found out earlier this week that this is stuff that happened over a year ago. I guess at the height of the
Coronavirus?
George Floyd.
Oh, okay.
So I guess this was supposed to be a
mixed of all
yeah,
that.
all
Mix of it,
that.
yes.
There was another shooting in Kenosha, Wisconsin, and a protest turned into riots, like a 3-day long riots. So this kid, Rittenhouse, came from Illinois, which apparently the distance is similar to us, coming from Jersey into
New York.
New York. So it's not like, that when they say, he crossed state lines, they make it sound like,
He drove to it.
yeah.
It was like the Bronx to
Well, cause
Queens.
you gotta be overzealous about
Right.
it.
Oh my gosh. It is like, but everybody's always playing on the emotions. So he did. I still haven't. There's speculation, and I think Mike's the one that told me that the gun was already in Wisconsin. He didn't bring it.
It was already in Kenosha. Yeah. He
was
didn't
already
transport
here?
it. Yeah.
Well, that's where the media failed because all they did was lie. Which that was one
Yeah.
of them. That his mother drove him was another. And those were all lies.
Really?
So, now you're going to influence the jury because now they can't believe you.
Right.
And even the prosecutor himself wanted to omit one of the videos where one of the perpetrators had a gun, which he did.
Mm-hmm.
So all that played and then that's when the judge started getting angry. And it seemed like the judge was being biased because he was angry that all these lies were coming out. Because I said the media exonerated that kid. Because my take on that kid is, you're 17 years old, you should be home
What the
doing
fuck are you
your
doing?
homework.
Yeah.
You're not a cop, all right? And
And-
I get everybody that was there was committing a crime. Because
Right.
first of all, they went over the curfew.
Right.
So everybody was committing a
right
crime.
there.
Yeah.
Right
So
there.
what did you think was gonna happen? You go in there wielding a gun. They could have thought you was an active shooter.
Right. And that's what they did think,
You
which is
know?
why the one guy supposedly pulled his gun
Okay.
on him. By the way, just to I know you said that he was, like a volunteer firefighter.
And that's cool.
But do you know he dropped out of school? He didn't even finish school, so it doesn't even matter how much time he volunteers.
But
He's
he was
never going to
still-
be. What
he
does
was-
that mean?
He was still active in it.
How could you still be active?
You can still be active. I dropped out of school. I was still an active volunteer police officer and doing
Really?
volunteer
Damn.
EMS,
But
and all that. In all honesty,
but then you should know the
I-
law.
Yeah.
But in all that, in all honesty, guess what? I had a choice: either chilling on the streets with my friends or doing that type of work, which kept me out of trouble at the end of the day.
All right, but it shouldn't be like a volunteer fire, whatever, police,
But
because not for
regardless,
nothing,
and I
police reform
appreciate-
can start
yeah.
there. Stop letting dropouts fucking.
That's a wrong way of thinking about it, because right now our biggest problem, and I can proudly say it, is the police officers that are out there right now are book smart. They're not street smart,
Yeah, the worst.
which is worse.
The worst. Yeah.
That's why we have all these killings. That's why we have all these wrongful deaths and all these
Yeah.
jacked up lawsuits. We didn't go
100%.
through this before
100%.
because
right.
people were
Street
You
smart.
grew up knowing that officer that was on the corner, and he knew your family. You knew
Yeah.
you were gonna get fucked up. You were gonna get
Yeah.
slapped up on the
Let me
street,
tell you
and
something.
you were gonna get slapped up
Yeah.
when he tells your pops.
See what
Yeah.
Mikey's
Right,
saying?
right.
Right now, they're book smart. They go to college.
They know how to fill
They,
reports.
they know how to do all this, and then they move out of the area. They don't give a shit about the community.
Right.
So now when they come into the community, guess what? That's when you have that situation.
Because the other day I put a post. I said, literally, NYPD looks like Willy Wonka's chocolate factory.
There's Oompa Loompas?
Yeah. Like I see these
everything. Yeah,
cops.
that's-
I said I could kick all three of their asses at one shot. I said that back then there was a height requirement, 5'7". These guys were
Oh, really?
intimidating. Yeah,
You
these guys.
used-
Were, these guys look like him.
You couldn't have a beard.
So
back
you know,
then.
you saw a cop by there. You got to be careful. You see what they look like now? It's embarrassing.
So do you think that has anything to do with the fact that then
Yes.
officers, being the book smart as opposed to
You
street
put
smart,
a
a
kid-
little
yeah.
more scared
You
when
put
they
a
have a
kid
gun in front
from
of somebody?
from Long Island who's never been to the ghetto, right? Who
In-
just graduated from college. You're gonna put him in the South Bronx. It's gonna be
Yeah.
like
And you know,
this.
exactly.
Yeah.
Better yet,
If you put
remember
me-
the train-
yeah.
you remember the Asian,
Yeah,
the
him,
Asian cop
yeah,
that
him, he
shot
was
and killed
paranoid.
the kid in
Oh,
the
yeah.
in the projects.
Yep.
You
He
don't
was
put
book
him-
smart.
Yeah.
He was a rookie. He graduated from college. Okay, but guess what? You put him in an urban neighborhood
That you don't know
that he
nothing
doesn't
about.
know. Guess who's gonna get around that neighborhood better? Guess who's gonna put the community standards a little more, into the community?
Correct.
That high school dropout, that person who grew up in the neighborhood, the person who's in that neighborhood 24/7. Not that guy that's reading Albert Einstein and Romeo and Juliet in school.
What's wrong
Yeah,
with
yeah.
Romeo and Juliet?
I'm just saying,
They get triggered.
You know?
See, if I was a cop, I know when I have to use my weapon. I would
Yeah.
know. So I know the street mentality.
Yeah.
So
First
how do
of
you
all,
combat that
you
then?
use. First of all, that's a cerebral thing. You gotta mind screw them. I've done it.
Mindminx.
Listen, I used to manage Radio City Security. I did it. You deal with a lot of drunks and a lot of disgruntled EDPs, all kinds of people. I'm not the biggest guy in the world, and plus I like to fix my hair and all that shit. I like to be rolling around the floor.
I can attest
So,
to that. He
yeah.
didn't even want to put his headphones on.
headphones on.
So
Headphones are hanging off.
90% of the time, I want to talk to you. 90% of the time, that works. I said, listen, it's not. You're gonna lose this. Let's see how we can reason here.
But it has to be someone that they think is at their same level.
Yes.
You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
that is
You
true.
have to
That
be
is
at the
true.
same level because
have
it's a
to.
mind thing.
Yeah.
It's a matter of understanding.
You start
compassion.
antagonizing
Yeah.
people, and it's a bad thing. It's a bad situation overall. Like he said, now you got to get 2 years of college, and you're there. You
Which
can
sounds
fill
like
a good
good
report.
thing. Yeah,
You're
no,
a
it
good
sounds like a
report.
good
Hey,
thing in
listen,
theory.
very eloquent, but when you got to be in the streets. It's New York.
Oh, it's like they tried to fix one problem, but then created a whole nother one.
Yeah, it's and everything is political now. Even
Oh, gosh, yeah.
vaccines and this is everything is political now.
Think
So-
about it. When was the last time you seen a cop standing on the corner?
No, you don't.
No.
You don't see it no more.
No.
It doesn't exist in New York.
I saw two
It's kinda
yesterday,
cold out
literally
there.
walking by the projects, two of them.
But they-
And I looked at them. I said, these guys could get ambushed any minute now. They won't even know what the hell to do.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, it's that type of thing. So it's crazy. But with this kid, I think he should have gotten some time. It was self-defense, if you ask me. You're already in that situation. Everybody that's
Put
committing a
yourself
crime.
in that situation.
Yes, but you couldn't just walk free. It's a bad precedent for
Yeah.
children that age that could just think, I'm going to get a gun and I'm
And
going to go out on the
just-
streets and take matters into my own hands.
Let's take
especially in the neighborhoods.
the race out of it.
Yeah.
Let's just take race out of it for 1 second. Now that he was acquitted of all charges,
Mm-hmm.
not a single charge was he found. Obviously happened before because she's like, calm down. What's wrong? As he's literally throwing her across the room.
And I'm not going to lie. Me and my son's mother, we used to get into a lot of fights, like fist fights. I didn't think anything of it. And as I grew older, I was like, you don't touch a woman,
Right.
no matter what. So now I let them slap me and then let them do all kinds of shit. I mean, I don't say
now
nothing.
he likes it.
Now I'm submissive. yeah.
Thank you, Henry. I think
Domestic
that's a good point
violence is
too.
real.
Domestic,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
domestic violence
Yeah.
is
And
real.
it goes both
Within the gay
ways.
community, because they both can fight now.
Yeah.
They go at it. You know, I seen some heavy duty gay fights. They're pretty cool, and they ain't hitting each other with purses. They punching. you know,
You're like, yo, I'm better than
Street
the
Fighter.
people with the
there's
big
no
head.
scratching and pulling hair.
There's no
There's
pulling
no
hair.
scratching and pulling hair.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, so that's what that again, and then so I always bring it back to the women's, issues, especially with abortion, whatever, is those same things. It's like, let's take the race out of it. Like, let's say a white woman kills her fucking ex-husband who obviously was not, adhering to the restraining orders and was hitting on her. And now she's in jail for it? No, let's go and revisit those. And where's Kim Kardashian with all these jail rights and help all those women now?
Never know. It could be going through her mind.
Well, I put it
She's
in.
good
I
for
put it
that,
into the
yeah.
universe
But
exactly.
it's-
Yeah.
It's like everything that happened right now is just it's a bad brew for everything that's already been
It's
brewing.
a boil.
It's been brewing
Richie
and
said
it's
it
boiling
best.
and it's
It's at the boiling point. We're at the boiling point.
Yeah.
And the
And-
reason why I say that, Vinny, number one is they didn't make it wasn't a race issue when OJ walked. He killed 2 white people,
Allegedly.
allegedly.
But it was a little racial
think it was
because
the
the
same.
African Americans
But
went
they
nuts
didn't-
knowing that he was guilty. They went nuts when he was acquitted.
And
So that's how the white people were the other day when this
So
kid
it's
got acquitted.
it's
So
hypocritical.
Yeah,
in,
it is.
in that sense because
Either way, it's wrong because I told my friend, I said, okay, so let's say this kid was a liberal that did that. You would have been calling for his head. So you're just cheering him because he's on your side, not because of the actions.
And you
he
think
took.
he's on your side. What do
I
we
think
even
that's
know what an 18-year-old has with political affiliations? His brain isn't even fully developed yet.
Because
what the fuck does he know
because
about it?
his
He
actions.
can't even. Well, now he can. vote.
Because a lot of the Republicans listen, and I tell them all these, they like to kill animals and stuff like that. I'm not with that. They like to kill animals and think they're tough guys. I say, you come to my neighborhood where I grew up with that attitude, you won't make it out of there.
Mm-hmm.
You just won't make it out of there. Because you have a rifle and 35 dudes come out with all kinds of automatic
Mm-hmm.
weapons. So stop acting tough because they're all about guns and stuff. Listen, I'm all for the Second Amendment, but
Yeah.
let's do it properly.
I do
Right.
too. But
You
that's
know?
I don't think that's the issue. Anyone who's actually went to fill out an application for a permit and gotten their license and all the training that the state requires for you to be able to carry, they're not the problem.
No,
it's
they're
it's
not.
everyone that
Yeah.
you just said
Yeah.
that still has access to get them.
I can literally purchase a gun tomorrow if I wanted to, illegally. So gun laws and all that's a
That's a-
bunch
yeah.
of bullshit
That's
because
a
bunch of bull,
people
yeah.
who own guns illegally, they're not the ones killing people. They're really
Yeah,
not. You
no.
get 1 or 2 that may go crazy, but all the crimes like in Chicago and stuff like that, it's all 3 legal handguns, and they have the strictest gun laws here in New York, and we got the most shootings because you can get your hands on that. It's just we everything's politicized. We got to stop this bullshit already.
Well, that's what we were
know,
talking
it's
about last
crazy.
night. That's why I wanted to have this conversation because I think we can, and I'm not inciting any kind of insurrection. I'm just saying if we were to burn the whole shit down and start all over, but with those people who like us who want to have this conversation, have the opposing views, but want to listen to each other and learn,
Yeah.
that's when fucking change happens.
Because I
Until
remember
then,
when
no change is gonna
Republicans and
happen.
Democrats worked together. Yeah, they were.
Yes.
Like they will fight on the Congress floor, and then they will go and have a beer together.
Right.
But
Not
now
anymore.
now they're putting up memes in it, and to me it's embarrassing.
Bro, it's to the point
yeah.
that it's even Democrat against Democrat.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, they get to that. They
Because,
get to that. Yeah.
or even Republican against Republican.
Yeah.
Like they're eating
You're
each
not
other
Republican
alive.
enough. You're not
Because
Democrat
don't associate me with these QAnon nuts.
Yeah.
Do not. I don't believe in any of that.
What's the one they say for the Democrats?
The which one?
What is the QAnon, but the Democrat version? What are we?
I don't think we have one for you guys.
No, I thought there was one.
No, because you guys
That's
don't.
the AOC radical.
Yeah, because
the-
the
you're
radical,
such an
because you
asshole.
guys, you know, like some of my boys, they believe that, you know, one guy told me, he says, you know why Democrats love abortions? Because what they do is they preserve the baby for 20 years, and then they inject them with a serum to make them Democrats. And I'm like, I said, you're not really telling me this shit, right? He said, nah, Vin, you see, you don't believe because it sounds crazy. I said, no, because it is fucking crazy. Like, this is a good story to tell. Like, it's in my head. Like, I can write about this and sell it to Hollywood.
Yeah.
That shit might work.
Yeah, I was gonna say that shit.
I said, but this, yo, you got to get fixed.
To get fixed. All right, so
Yeah.
45 minutes in and we still haven't, but he didn't even remind me, so I remembered all on my own. Let's just remember that we are live here with Vinny Cuevas at Mix Vibes Radio,
Yes,
and
we
this
are.
is the Mindminx Show. The phone lines are open if you'd like to call it, 718-616-9971. I'm going to pin it in my comments, too.
See, let's call. Well, my buddies, call me up. I'm sure I got a lot of people saying, yeah.
616. Yeah, so exactly. And there's actually a lot of memes out there. Like, so remember when you were telling me that the one lady was crying when JFK Jr. didn't show up?
crazy.
Well,
That's
apparently
insanity.
there was a woman crying when Trump was doing his, speech when he was sworn in. So they have him
Listen,
on
I know
both
Trump personally. I
sides.
worked with him. Trump is not a Christian, all right? He's not religious.
Apparently, he can't
You
even
know,
hold the Bible the
Trump,
right way
yeah,
up.
Trump is like me. He's a street guy with $1 billion because that's before he was Trump, he was hanging out with rap stars, with gays,
Is he
everybody in
racist?
Studio
Is he
54.
racist?
He'll say racist shit. I don't think he's racist because
wanna
I
know if he's
grew
racist.
up around that rhetoric, and the people I grew up around weren't racist, but they say racial shit.
Wait,
you
so
know?
it wasn't racist at that time, but in this, would it be considered racist in
Well, because of
these
the
times
because of the
cancel-
millennials
yeah,
and
of
the people with
cancel
that are so
culture.
sensitive.
You know what I mean?
Like, you slip on a banana peel and they'll fucking blame Trump now.
Yeah.
That's just how it is. But, back then we were pretty rough. Like, we would say something crazy. Even the gays back then, the gays were gangsters. We hang out with a bunch of gays that were willing to shoot and everything. It was just, that was your preference.
We got a phone call.
Hey, who this? Talk to me. Yeah.
Somebody, we got on somebody's nerves.
Hello, thanks for calling in.
This is Ralph. What's up?
Holy
Hey,
shit,
Told
Ralphie.
why do I always call you Henry? Your name?
Yeah, that's his.
Everyone calls me Henry. Don't feel bad about
All right.
It's Henry when he's nice and Ralph when,
Yeah.
when he's off the lid.
Exactly.
What's up, Ralphie?
I'm Ralph when I owe money.
And then we don't know who Ralph is.
Yep. So, what's up with Vinny wearing sunglasses? What, too bright for him?
Yeah, Mikey has these new lights here. They, my sinuses kill me, and then this is right on me. But see, if you would have listened to the show from the beginning, obviously you
Yep.
didn't.
Yeah.
I
Because his
mentioned it.
future's so bright, he has to wear shades.
That's
So
a good one. That's a good way to
the
put it.
light affects his sinuses? I don't get it.
No, they're bright, so I got to squint, and yes, that affects my sinuses. I know I'm acting like a liberal, but
Somebody needs a hug.
Somebody needs a hug. I
I
gave him
do,
one already.
because all you guys do is attack me online.
Oh, so I don't feel bad. So we are the same person. Everybody attacks me.
Oh my God, Ralph, Richie, they gang up on me, Sandra. But I think Sandra's a phony. I think Sandra's a Trump supporter.
That's what everyone says about me, but no, I'm
Yeah,
not.
I think Sandra's faking it, right, Ralph?
I don't know, man. She's surrounded, so who knows?
She's a double agent.
Let me see.
But let me tell you something about Ralph. I know Ralph. What I know you since 2005, Ralph, something like that.
Somewhere thereabouts, yeah.
Yeah, Ralph's a good guy. Ralph's a very talented guy. He's one of the few people I've stuck around because the guy's loyal, and like I always told him, I said if I get to a place where I can help anybody, he'd be one of the first guys that I would it's very few people in my life now that I would, and he's one of them. My friend Esther, who I love to death. Francis, forget about it.
I need to meet Francis.
Yeah,
We've
Francis
talked about it so long.
is an angel, and there's a few. But Raul, my buddy Raul, man, him and his wife.
I met Raul.
Oh, Raul. Oh, you know Raul, right? Yeah, big Raul.
He helped me out. So Ralph has been in studio a couple of times with me. And Raul, actually, I don't know. I know you know that we flooded with Ida, like lost everything. He lost his truck. And Raul came to the fucking rescue, put my electrical panel in, put my heat in. It was getting cold.
Oh, man, that's Raul, yeah. Also, where do you know Raul from? Did you just meet him?
No, so I was like complaining about having no heat.
Yeah, Raul's
And Mike was like, I don't know why I didn't
think.
think of this. So he's actually saved in my phone as Raul, Vinny, and Mike.
No, Raul's a good dude, and these are people that, you know, especially, you know, even you, like you didn't know me from scratch, and you went to my son's wake, and I see stuff like that, and I'm like, wow, this is just eternal.
I had to.
You know, and this is eternal, and Ralph has always been there, and yeah, we fight politically, but I never take anything personal with him. You crazy?
But that's what real friendship means.
Likewise. Yeah, likewise. I always tell people, because a lot of people always inbox me privately and say, why are you friends with Vinny? I was like, it's simple. I've known him since around 2005, 2007. And from that time on, we've never had a dispute. We've never disrespected anybody. He's always treated myself and my family with respect. So all the political bullshit is exactly what it is. It's bullshit.
Yeah, people get too emotional attached to this stuff.
Yes.
You know, it's crazy.
I mean, listen, there's Democrats. I'm a Democrat, proud to vote, and that's a wrap. But will I call out a Democrat for nonsense? Absolutely. And people who know me well know that. You know, when I don't agree with something, when a Democrat, you know, does stuff, I'm going to say it.
And see, that's the difference. We're not. That's where the sheep mentality comes in.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's on both sides too. But I mean, my sides. You know what pisses me off of our Republicans is they're acting exactly the same way they claim the liberals were acting when Trump won. They're whining about everything. I said, don't put me in that shit. Listen, I have my opinion on this election. It is what it is. Joe Biden's the president. What do you want me to do?
That's it.
You know what you want me to do? You know, they couldn't prove that it was illegal or whatever. Then he's president. Let's just do the 4 years and move on if you don't like it.
And it's like, yeah, we'll do the bid.
Yeah.
But it's like, you know, stop saying you're president. We all live here, so it's our president.
But that's a silly mentality.
He's like,
but Mike is just being Mike is not really. Mike is like me and stuff like that. You know. But
he's like, you're president.
yeah, but like I said, you know, look Ralph up. You know, anybody listening, you know, Ralph's a good guy and he's very talented. You know, he's very talented, and like all of us, we're all struggling because we deal within our own community sometimes, and our community don't help us.
I know, and we talked about that on the first time.
Sadly, they're more competitive than anything. So I try to listen. They talk about, you know, I don't want to bring up race and stuff like that, but you got to remember where you came from. That is true, but then I'm going to also remember who got me out of there because I don't want to stay there all my life.
Yeah.
So the people that are helping me out now, you know, that are pushing me are non-Hispanic, but there's a few Hispanics in my life, like Esther and Ralph and Francis, who just stick by me, man, and that's a beautiful thing. And there's others that it's all, what could you do for me? But don't worry, Vinny's not talented enough. We don't have to do for him. So I get rid of all that crap. You know, everybody's over there feeling sorry for themselves. You know, nobody loves me and everybody. I'm the best thing in the world. Stop talking. If you're the best thing in the world, show it.
Yeah.
You know, show it. Action speaks louder than words. Show it. We don't need to hear it.
Yep.
Like if I'm gonna help the homeless, I don't need to take a camera with me to show how generous I am.
Right.
All that does is boost your ego. It's a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah.
What the hell? But I'm dealing with the Jews. Listen, you got to have the Jews in Hollywood. Don't
I
piss
got
them
mine.
off.
I got mine.
Don't piss them off. So I'm gonna meet a couple and so you know I'm going out there and I do what I got to do. You know, it is what it is.
So you're gonna be in LA over Christmas.
No, it'll be the 13th through the 17th.
Oh, I thought you said the 27th. I
No,
was like,
13th through the 27th. And you know what's crazy is they wanted me there the 4th through the 12th, but the 11th is my son's birthday.
Oh, okay.
So I had a choice. I know the show must go on, but I said this is the first year I spent without my son, and I want to celebrate him. And I said, is there any way you can like move it back and I'll come? And they said, listen, we didn't even know that because I don't talk about it. And they said, come the 13th. And listen, I was humbled by that. I'm like, they did that for me. They didn't have to. They could say, well, listen, this is we're sorry, but we got to move
Yeah.
on. And they
Yeah, if you
didn't.
can't make it, you can't make
So
it.
that
No,
just
yeah.
means that what they read, they're that interested in.
That's
So it gives me
awesome.
motive.
That's
So
awesome.
We're doing what we got to do here. And I was supposed to do the I Love Lucy thing. Remember we were going to do that?
Yes.
And then Corona hit.
So on hold for a while.
So it's on hold. But then they made, I think, the I Love Lucy series or the movie with Javier Bardem playing Ricky Ricardo. And I kind of like threw it off to a little, derailed it a little bit now because of that. So
They every studio puts out the same thing every year, so don't let that deter you either.
But the movie business itself, it's faltered a little bit. Like everything is TV series now. So if you're gonna write, like I'm writing something now, I can't talk much about it. It's a biopic, which is gonna do well. The funds are already there to be made. I got paid a good amount of money to write them, and I wrote them, and stay tuned.
That's
Major
exciting.
networks and some great people behind it, and you just keep pushing. You just keep pushing, and the naysayers, get rid of them.
Well, how do you deal with those people that used to be your friends and now all of a sudden don't seem to have...
It don't bother me because either they were my friends or not. Now they used to be.
Right.
So they probably never were.
That's a
and
fucking
it
sucky
sucks.
feeling. Like
And,
right now.
If you don't trust me, for whatever reasons, then you don't need to be around me. You know what I'm saying? And if you look at me as competition, you don't need to be around me. And if I ask for a favor out of 1,000 that I did for you, and you can't even do it for me, then you don't need to be around me. And I say God bless everybody. I never wish anybody harm. I love even friends that I'm no longer friends with now, like you said, they were never. I still love them, and listen, I wish them well. I'm not gonna wish harm on them, but like I said, I could work with them maybe one day, but just not on the same stage. Is the way
I'm
I look
not
at
saying
it.
like even in like a peer. I'm talking about like somebody who was a friend before, and now that all of this stuff is happening, I've gotten I'll be there when you need me, and I'm like, well, how about being there when I'm
Well, there's a few people
succeeding.
mainly females. There's a couple of females that I thought would be there for me during that time, because a time like what I went through, I needed everybody. But, the funny thing is that my ex-wives and my ex-girlfriends, a bunch of them, they all been very supportive. So I said, listen, whatever differences we had in the past, that's gone. I forgive you for everything, and not that I've been a saint, because I wasn't. I'm a scumbag. But,
There's a reason why he's single.
but yeah. But we squashed that because but then there's people that I say, oh my God, this person never even showed up. So I guess and it bothers me because I adored them.
Oh, we got
but
another call.
it is
Oh
what
my
it
God,
is.
Ralph, are you still there?
Ralph is still there. Ralph is right.
They-
Ralph
they
likes to listen
left
to my
him
voice.
there.
Oh my God, Ralph.
He loves to listen to my voice. He's probably showering now.
This is Vinny's show.
It's Vinny
No,
show.
that's okay. I know. He likes to listen to my voice. He showers when he listens to my voice.
Are you in the shower? Ralph, are you in the shower?
A bubble bath.
A bubble bath.
Damn.
Love you, Ralph.
All right, listen, guys. Take care, Vinny. You keep on doing what you got to do, bro.
Appreciate it.
Like you said,
Can't do it without you, man.
forget
Without
the
you
haters.
guys.
Forget the haters. Forget the people that don't want to be around you. Because, you and I were pretty much on that same level.
100% to the end.
But you are doing your thing, brother. I support you. Everyone in Richie, Sandra, Sally, everybody, Francis, Esther. We all support you, brother.
Yep,
I'm here for
100%.
everybody in that. That means the world, Ralph.
By the way, Sandra said this is why she doesn't mess with Hispanics.
Why? Because her name is LaDuck.
Sandra said
LaDuck.
Yeah, she said you're going to miss her
Anyway, God bless,
birthday.
brother. We'll be in touch.
All right, brother. Take
Thanks
care.
for calling in,
No,
Ralph.
I won't miss a birthday because January 8th is mine, and we can all get
Oh,
together
really?
and we just.
My mom's is
Yeah.
January 8th.
My
Oh,
mother-in-law's
you see.
birthday is January
That's a beautiful thing. You say Elvis Presley too,
8th. Oh.
and Mom was a big fan, so she did the right thing. She held me in for a couple of days, and that's why I got a little bit of a brain damage. But she spit me out, and here I am. But so that's where we at. I mean, listen, stuff like this is therapy for me. Like I like to laugh, and it's it's probably temporary because these emotions are like roller coasters. Like it could be a
Sure.
day where I'm okay. You're never good. I'm never good. Not since that happened.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm okay, and then let's say later in the night something pops up and just drains me out. Or I'm at the gym, or it just hits you randomly. So you almost like got to prepare yourself for that. Because
How do you prepare for that?
You don't, because I'm not a guy, like I don't cry. My dad is like, oh, so you don't cry in front of nobody. I told my son the same thing. My father never cried in front of nobody. So when I visit my son and his niche, like I don't kiss him because he didn't like that. Fist pump, like I'll fist bump.
No.
So I'm not going to do what I didn't do then, now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Dad, that's like acting gay. You know, because I'm hugging him and stuff. So I treat him the same way because that's the way I keep him around. I don't like to just do things that I just didn't do when he was around. So.
Okay.
But you feel him. They say that there's a lot of people, skeptics about life. He's been around. Like I felt him. There's no doubt about that. It's not my mind. You feel it. You know it, and he's okay, because he's told me in dreams and everything. So
I was
going to
ask if he's come to you.
Oh yeah, a couple of times. One time he was choking me out in one of the dreams, and I said, "Oh, dude, I can't breathe." But then I said, "Keep on, because like that I could join you," and he let me go. You know, like in other words, I don't want you up here now, but I'm all right. You know, those are the signs you get. You would like people that say, "Oh my God, I saw the spirit." You never see them physically. No, you would never see that. So people bullshitting you. You know, they say, "Oh, he was there," and that's a lie. But but you feel them. There's things, there's messages. Something may be on the floor that you never dropped, and that symbolizes him. And you live through them. And you got the kids. He got his kids, and you got to live out. You tell them, listen, you do the right thing, make them proud. My son was a lunatic, but he was the nicest guy in the world. Like he will Mikey met him. He's funny. He's crazy, and it happened. And that's how God works. Can't get mad at God. He has his reasons. So, like I said, I'm not religious, but I'm very spiritual. I pray at night and stuff, but I don't hide behind a Bible. Like I see these Alleluias and all these people. Oh my God. I used to at one time, especially Jehovah's Witness, and no disrespect to races. But they had me tired every Sunday, knocking on the door, bullshitting me with these magazines. Yeah. I swear to God, one time I opened the door.
I gave them your address.
Butt naked.
You're such an asshole. You answered the door.
Butt naked with everything just dropping.
Well, there you go.
And then probably word got around and said, listen, don't go over there.
Don't go over there.
But I know after that, a couple of the girls left the religion.
Oh, we got a funny man too.
They say, wait a minute, there's life after this. But no, so I just making it happen.
Well, you're doing it well, sir.
Oh, thank you, and it's a pleasure being here with you. And Mikey, I know Mikey a long fucking time now, right? Mikey about 5 years already. Mike's a good man. I've always had his back, always.
He's all right.
I've always had his back, Mike.
He's okay. He'll do.
Yeah.
Shut your mouth.
Very knowledgeable, and he's done well with the studio. There was a time where he almost faltered, during COVID, and I said, Mikey, I got to do what I got to do. I got to get you some people that at least help you, pay the rent or something. And he's still here, so that makes me feel good. He even got new lights. That's why I got the shades. Ralph didn't.
Yeah, Ralph.
Ralph didn't listen.
Okay, so what else do you want to talk about?
I don't know. What do you want to ask? I told you, ask anything.
Ask
I don't
anything.
Care.
I'm
straight.
What do we want to hear?
You're
straight.
I'm straight, but
then I'm going to ask a Ray Large question.
Yeah.
If a man came to you and said, I would give you $1 billion if you go down on me right now, would you do it?
Fucking $10,000, I'll do it. $1 billion. Times are hard.
Shit.
No, I'll say, give me 15. I'll give you 5 back, so you won't tell nobody.
Sign an
$1 billion,
NDA.
$1 billion.
Or whatever. What was it? Did I say $1 billion or was it $1 million?
$1 billion.
$1 billion. It was.
I will give him everything. I'll take estrogen for $1 billion. Are you kidding me? I'll be one rich converted guy.
Oh my gosh, that was a hard question because I don't know if I could. God bless you for knowing. I'm like, I don't know because again,
my
father
would be like, what? so it's just not the money. You really feel that way. Like he'll take it personal. Not that he's homophobic because they're not, but they're traditional.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Listen, I don't have a problem with that community at all. You know, you are what you are. You want to invite me to your wedding? I'll come. I'm not wearing a dress.
I'm not. Yeah.
I'm not a bridesmaid and
Yeah.
none of that shit, but I'll come and you guys can, twerk, do whatever the hell you like to do. We have a good time.
So then, where do you think that your line is drawn with regard to your being a Republican? Like, where do you, besides the financial policies or whatever, where else do you think that you agree with how they think?
I think that I like the way they treat the military.
Okay.
They're pro-military. But that's why a lot of law enforcement, more of them are more Republican leaning. Like I said, mainly it was more always policies with me when it comes to work. They were more like inclined to make people go to work, and like the Democrats, like the borough president of the Bronx is all about, oh, don't worry, we'll take care of you and we'll give you housing, $65. That's why I always had a joke with Puerto Ricans. I said, where do Puerto Ricans always sit when they go to concerts? And my friend said, where? I said, Section 8.
Ouch!
I will do that shit. You racist fuck. And I said, no, because they're like welcoming. Not them alone. I'm just saying because they're my people, so I'll rank on them. But that mentality, because a lot of people think, and I'm going to use Democrats because they think, oh, Democrats take care of me. Yeah, but you're still living the same fucking way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Are you content with that? If you are, then that's fine. But I like progression. I like to that's why I like this nut. I like Trump because of that. He was like, yeah, get up and go to work. Well, if you leave it up to Trump, he'll take welfare and everything away from people. It was crazy.
Well, I don't qualify for it, so that's fine.
And welfare, listen, welfare's fine if you need it.
Right.
But it shouldn't be the sport.
But it should be,
it
Right.
should be like unemployment.
Yep.
6 months, you
6
get on your
months,
feet.
Get on your feet and get your ass up.
But like
But that's
you
what it
said-
is. But there's so many
Oh my
loopholes. That's
goodness.
what it's supposed to be.
Yeah. Listen,
And not for nothing.
Yeah.
During quarantine, the extra $300 that they were giving a week, motherfucker.
Oh,
like,
they
why
were
would
like,
they want to go back? And do you want to know how pissed off I was? I was an essential worker, so I was in the fucking office every fucking day.
And now you get
I didn't
fired
get
if you don't
shit.
have the vaccine. That's what policy. Let's get to the vaccine part.
Okay.
I'm all for it. Listen, I got it, right? I'm not for mandates, though. I'm not for that, especially for the first responders. So these people who were heroes a year ago. Now you're firing them? Like I can't deal with that.
See, the
because the thing is with the vaccine, even if you have it, you can still spread it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, so
what
that's why I
bothers me.
think I'm still a proponent for the mask. I'm fully vaccinated, and I still wear
That's
a mask
fine,
everywhere.
and I get that. They should say that. They say, okay, you know
They
what?
have,
if
but
you don't
then
want to
it's-
if you don't want to receive the vaccine, every 2 days we got to test you and you got to
Right,
wear a mask.
right.
I'm
And
okay with that.
that's where we're
But don't
at.
say, well, if you don't get the the vaccine, we're gonna fire
Well,
you.
if it's a private company, not
Yeah.
for nothing, you were bound. Bodyguard. You were a bodyguard.
Yeah.
You know for a fact if someone didn't look a certain way, you weren't allowing them into your establishment, and that was okay. So why isn't that now still okay? Isn't it that same cancel culture? Like, let's say,
What do you
talk
mean?
about. All right, so let's
Yeah,
say.
but if I didn't allow somebody into, let's say, a venue, they ain't losing any money.
Right, but you're not losing any money if you say to somebody who doesn't want to wear a mask and now making videos and posting them all over TikTok and YouTube of purposely going into restaurants not wearing a mask.
See, but these
and
are
causing a
these
fucking
are
scene.
antagonists. That's what's the problem here is the politics they put behind it.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people don't want to take the vaccine because the Republican Party. And I said, listen, you bunch of idiots. I said those people that are all anti-vaccines, they were the first ones in line to get it.
Yep.
But you're like sheep and you're dying. Listen, I seen people die of COVID. That's horrifying. I have asthma. If the vaccine doesn't work, then I'm screwed.
You're screwed.
But I'm gonna take my chances with it.
Right.
Because I don't want to drown in my own lungs. And I was around someone who had it.
Mm.
And I never got it.
What do you think about people who never got it?
I never got it, and I
I
should have.
never got it.
I
either.
should have.
I work in the fucking trucking industry.
There's a certain immune system response that I was reading that you brush it off like the flu. It all depends on how. Like I have a decent immune system.
Not
'Cause,
me. I have an autoimmune. I take medication every fucking
I
week
have
to.
celiac, so it's kind of autoimmune too.
Yeah, no, it's 100% autoimmune.
Yeah,
Do you
it's
take
the-
medication for it?
No, because there is none. You just
Oh
gotta be
no, nothing for
gluten-free,
celiac.
no.
Oh.
So I mean, I get pains like a son of a bitch when it ain't just gluten, but So, I want to take care of myself, I don't know. I said, my friend, in 20 years, you're going to be shaking.
I'm gonna
I said,
grow
but if I'm
horn."
around 20 years to see myself shaking, then something was right.
Well,
I
in
said, if
20
I get
years, you're gonna be
COVID
70,
in 20
of
hours,
course
I
you're
could
gonna
be
be
dead.
shaking.
Yeah. Well, I don't expect to, I got to get all the liquids they put into your body. Yeah. I want to be one of those old guys that don't want to get old.
Oh.
See, but I used to dye my hair because my hair's white. You could see a little bit, but then I started looking navy blue, like I would I started looking fake.
Really?
Yeah, it was like navy blue.
Oh, like my grandpa.
And my daughter had
Grandpa.
my daughter be like that doesn't look too good. So I started leaving a little bit of the white, and a lot of the younger girls like that.
There
stuff.
you go.
Oh my God, you look so distinct.
Distinct.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
I'm a very mature guy. I'm a very mature dude.
So, what about everybody that was like, my kid included? He's gonna be so mad if he hears this, but
What?
he's like, I don't want to get the vaccine because they put a magnet in you, and he's
Oh,
like,
stop.
I was like, but do you really believe?
But blacks and Hispanics should be happy if they put like something to track them down. They can accuse them of crimes they didn't commit. That's the way I look at it. Yeah.
Such an asshole.
So actually, I'll be pushing for that. I said, yo, put that shit in me, man. That wasn't me.
You didn't take
Yeah.
He's not vaccinated?
What?
Your son?
No, yes,
He's
now
over
he
the top.
is. Now he is.
You
He had a job.
You
He had a job.
sacrificed him.
He had a job. That's another thing. I hate when people call it the job.
Listen, we've been getting vaccinated since we were kids.
babies.
If you're in the military, you got a 3,000 vaccines.
You don't even know what they are.
You
they're still here
they
to talk
give you
about it.
PTSD even when you're not
just,
in war.
just in that line.
So I say, listen, I don't judge you if you don't take it. And
Yeah.
I don't judge you. It's just on your business.
I don't want it to be somebody who is then like there's a Dominican restaurant. I want to say
El
it's in
Castillo,
Brooklyn.
because every Dominican restaurant is called El Castillo.
No, this one is called Sandy. It's in
Dominican
Brooklyn.
restaurant,
Yeah, I
Sandy?
think it's in Brooklyn,
Yeah.
and it went viral on TikTok because there's this woman who Hispanic goes into the restaurant without a mask, and even they say to her, you need to put a mask on, and she's like, I'm not going to, and then starts a whole fucking tirade and tells people not to go there, which isn't that detrimental to a mom and pop shop.
Was
that
it was a white person? that did
no,
that?
she's a
person?
Hispanic. She's I think a teacher
That's
or
terrible.
like a dance teacher in Brooklyn. And she's like posting all of this shit, and not just there, but that just happened to be the one that went viral.
I had a friend who will mock people wearing masks, right? He got COVID, almost died. He was in bad shape. I went to see him. And he was like, yo, one thing I regret was, mocking people. Because
At least he learned.
I don't wish this on anybody. The dude was talking through his nose. He just couldn't breathe. And I said, this guy's not going to make it. He was a little heavy set, too. He made it. And it was a test. I said it was a test. So you could see, you just don't mock people. Let them do whatever. They want to wear a freaking quilt over themselves and let them wear it.
But you want to know the funny part? Asians have been wearing masks.
And we used to make fun of
And
them,
we
right?
used to make fun.
They know
What are
Yeah.
you saying? They know, They've
From the
al-
peanut
they've
gallery.
they've always
They've always worn masks.
Yeah, I used to say, why are they attacking Asians? They're the safest people to be around now. Are you kidding me?
They got the inside.
And I live around Chinatown,
Okay.
so they walk around like an outbreak. They ain't playing. So listen, just stop judging people out there. So many live your fucking life.
Yeah.
Don't listen. My
Exactly.
opinion, this
Live
shouldn't
your
bother
life.
you.
Like why?
Yeah,
Exactly.
why
Why
everybody
does
else
it
is
bother
Don't
you?
push things on people. Too.
Yeah.
Like right now, if you don't agree with something, you're a phobic. Whether it's homophobic or a lot of the stuff ain't racist. A lot of the stuff ain't racist at all. But everything is racist. Even with the LGBT community, I don't have to agree with them. So I'm a phobic because I said no. I just don't agree with that. But that's your business. Do whatever the hell you want. I'm with you. But that's just the way I am.
Yeah, so you saying you don't agree means that I'm not going to live my life like that, which is fine,
Yeah.
except they're translating
Don't
it.
push it on me.
Yeah.
Don't tell me because I don't make out with you that I'm homophobic. No, I just don't like men. I like
Yeah.
women.
Yeah.
That's all that is.
So do you think that being, bringing race back into it, that there is, because I've had Republicans tell me that racism doesn't exist.
No, it does. Because you know how I know it exists? I look Italian, right? I think I do.
Mm-hmm.
So
sound
I
it, too.
used to live in Staten Island, and I've worked with a lot of
Then you are
movies.
Italian.
They thought I was Italian, and I would hear the most racialist shit. Until the point where I start speaking Spanish so they can know I'm Hispanic.
Mm-hmm.
And I shocked them. They're like, I said, it doesn't bother me because it's ignorance. But that's not always true. There's one guy said, "Oh, you owned a home," and he's like, "I would never rent to Puerto Ricans because they bring roaches." Yeah, we hear shit like that. So yeah, racism exists 100%. Yeah, but racism exists from every race. It's not only white people.
All right, so
Yeah.
wait. I have a good.
Listen,
I have what I think is a good argument to that.
Fucking racist as fuck.
Oh yeah, and 100%.
I got
My
family
grandma.
members that should be in the Ku Klux Klan.
Yeah, my grandma said, "Don't dirty our children."
Yeah, look what
Mine
you got.
too.
Look what you got.
Mine too. Mine says that if you're gonna bring a boyfriend here, my grandparents,
Latino.
if you're gonna bring a boyfriend here with bad hair, make sure they straighten that shit out. I'm like, so you grew up thinking that's cool, but then you're like, this is terrible. So it ain't just white people. White
No,
people actually
yeah,
are
no,
afraid to be racist nowadays.
Are they?
Yeah, they undercover.
They're in the.
But Hispanics can be real fucking racist.
Yeah,
Amongst
I know that.
themselves too.
Yeah, I that's how I grew up.
Listen. I've been in situations where I bring all my Puerto Rican, Cuban, whatever, white friends, and then you bring the one black kid who's the most decent kid out of all of them, and your grandparents was like, keep an eye on him. But he's the most decent guy. The other ones are a bunch of delinquents. You know what I'm saying? And that's I don't like that, and I don't like racism. But there's racism in everybody.
But do you feel that because of where you came from, you didn't, even though your family was, but that was literally just in your four walls of your home.
Yeah.
Because you were raised in New York City, that doesn't really exist in you, that belief of
Because
being
diverse,
racist.
because
Because of
diverse.
diversity.
Let's say if I was raised somewhere in Texas, I could have
Oh my
probably, because
gosh.
that's the way, that's the way they are. And sometimes I say they can't help it because that's the way they were raised.
Right.
Well,
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
That hate is learned. So
hate is learned. You don't,
100%.
and if you see a child being hateful, you just let them know this isn't right. There's bad in everyone.
Mm-hmm.
There's races in everyone. Blacks, Hispanics, whites. There's races in it. I heard racial shit come from every freaking diverse group. So they, to try and make white people seem guilty about everything is bullshit. Because you shouldn't do it. You can't make a white kid feel guilty because he's white. And a lot of the schools almost teach this shit, and I think is abysmal, because the slavery and all that stuff. Yeah, that was our ancestors, and the slave owners were their ancestors and stuff like that. But the more we keep bringing it up, we keep reliving it. And
Well, so the reason why I bring it up is because there's still, maybe not in recent history, but there are still, policies in place that kind of continued that slavery.
which
without
ones?
it
Like which
being
one?
slavery.
Which
So,
policy?
for instance, you could, if you were accused of being homeless or a vagrant, you could be arrested, and the time that you had to do was community service.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that still a form of slavery, free labor?
You can.
They
translate it
still,
to
yeah,
that,
they
but it all
still
depends how you look
figured
at it,
that
yeah.
loophole.
No.
I
said
don't
no.
think. I don't think that's the
punishment.
mentality. I think it's a
Imagine
punishment.
they're happy if they're
Like, what you prefer, a record?
Do I
a criminal
think-
record or go sweep up the park?
Yeah. Do I think the judicial system could use they can.
Oh, they need it.
Yeah,
A
because
reform, yeah. It
yeah,
does.
reform,
definitely.
yeah.
But I think we need to
not-
stop using reform. It needs-
People don't get treated equally. They
No.
don't.
Not at all.
And-
Well,
no.
Rittenhouse is a perfect
Yeah.
example of that, because I found a video and I was telling Mike about it, that they literally a white guy having an AK-47 around his shoulder, not brandishing it, just holding it over his shoulder, was walking down the street. A police officer came up to him and said, "Hey, why do you have that?" And he's like, "I'm allowed to have it." He's like, the officer's like, "I know you are. I'm just asking why you have it. Is there something I need to know about?" Cut scene, go to the next. It was staged, obviously. And it's a black guy doing the exact same thing, just holding it over his shoulder, not brandishing it, just walking down the street. And police officer jumps out of their car, blocks themselves with their door, gun pointed at him, had him. The only difference,
I get it. It's true.
so that inequality 100%
And I've
exists.
gotten into that. I'm not getting into race wars and stuff like that, but I've told people, Hispanics and blacks commit crimes. I get that. But if you look at the mass murders,
all white people.
I say, yeah, if somebody gets shot in front of Kentucky Fried Chicken, we know who did it already. But it's just one person. But, when you go to, the Walmart in Minnesota or something like that,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
You know, that's because they teach these kids that it's okay to have a gun. They start teaching them to shoot when they're 3 years old, and that's their mentality.
That's how they handle things instead of being able to talk about what happened.
I think Hispanics, but we're afraid to do shit like that. Go into a mall and just start shooting people.
Like we get hit with the chunk.
It's all rivalry shit. Like we die on rivalry. Oh, that guy owes me some money. And stuff like that. You know, it's crazy, but you know, but I just don't think that we should live that way, victimizing ourselves. I've never been a fan of that.
That's too much. That happens entirely too much.
Yeah,
At what point do we realize that we are the only people that can make ourselves happy, fix what?
It's not the white person's fault you're still here because you got all these options.
Right.
Yes.
You could have went to school, but you wanted to be a gangbanger. That's your own fault. It's not their fault.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, but the system brings you down. And I said,
well, no, they got that wrong.
Actually, the system helps you out. They give you the welfare. They give you all the good shit.
But what they don't know is that that's the only part of the system that they want them to know about. You're right. The system does have stuff in place for them, but they are never told about it.
No. You got to learn about that.
Yeah, and nobody wants them to know about it because then if they start succeeding, it's going to just completely
people don't
unravel.
know, and even the white people have told me, they say, we talk, but there's plenty. I think the more majority of the white people are on welfare in these red states.
Oh, I was going to say,
of course.
There's a lot.
So they, you know, we can't stereotype just blacks and Hispanic.
No,
And in Brooklyn, come on.
I know what you're trying to say. I know what you're trying to say.
Forget about it. They own the welfare system. But there's just some people that don't need it, and that's a shame.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a fucking shame, man. Listen, I know people on welfare that live 100 times better than me.
Well, that's what I was going to say. At what point do you not want to just say, fuck it, I'm going to find that loophole because why can't I?
I got to that point where I said, you know, I shouldn't be hating the player. I should hate the game.
Yeah.
Because then I should be doing that.
Right. Why not?
You know, I roll up in a Mercedes and say, listen, where's my coupons? I need some of that, you know, that Atlantic salmon, not that shit from the Bronx River. That Bronx River shit that comes in.
You don't want nothing farm raised. You want the, what's it called? The wild caught.
Yeah.
The expensive shit.
It's insanity. We just got to stop the bullshit. Too much crying. And it's the generation, like, I don't like to attack, but this generation is soft.
Yes.
They sensitive over everything. Oh my goodness! You can't. My daughter gets like that sometimes, but I look at her and she calms down a little bit. So this sensitive, that doesn't work with me. I said that sensitive, you know, especially if she wants to get into entertainment. As entertainment, all they do is they defame you all the time. They belittle you all the time. If you can't handle that, then you got to find something else to do. You know, it's I can't deal with it. I can't. And maybe I'm a little too hard, but I guess that's why I had no problem with Trump. Because I was like that too. But the younger generation, oh my God, he said, you know, I said, I hear that shit all the time. That's nothing. You want to hear that? Go to my house. Speak to mom. My mom would say the craziest shit. I'd be like, whoa, I said, Ma, you can't say that in the fucking streets. You can't say that in the streets. She said some wild shit, man. Especially when all the protests was going on, I was like, oh my goodness.
Do you find it's hard for us, because we're both Generation X, do you think it's hard for us now to like say certain, are you scared to say certain things because you feel like, no, you still, see, I feel like I've become a little censored.
Shit, right, Mike?
I still say shit, and that's why I get banned left to right on Facebook.
Not only that one, we used to do another show here. I used to say some wild shit. I was like,
see, yeah, like I feel like I don't want to get attacked.
Like one time I was in
You see the way hold on a minute. You see the way she's saying that you feel like you want to say shit, but you don't because you're scared of being attacked.
Yeah.
And that's the mentality of like a lot of people right now in this atmosphere, because you're so scared of trying to be politically correct. You can't even voice your own fucking opinion.
Yeah.
If you're not down with the Kool-Aid drinkers, then you know.
See, but my
then
excuse
it's like,
is
fuck
I'm in
it.
between.
You're anti.
I'm in between. I got all cultures in me, blacks, whites, everything. So I feel, because I'm literally not a racist, so I feel like I can say racist shit. One time I was in this show, I'm not gonna mention it, not to, you know, and I said something really bad. And then we were talking about the Kardashians, and I said something like, she's had more black guys in housing projects. And I got killed. And then I say, but I was just joking. I didn't think I said anything wrong. You can't be talking about that stuff, you know. And then I'm like,
wait, who said you can't?
Who? The callers. They were
really?
fucking motherfucker. Where's the studio? And I'm
Whoa.
like, and then I said, damn, that was kind of fucked up. But because I rank on my own people too, I thought I could just go around saying crazy shit like that. It was bad.
He straight up did a Chappelle move that day.
No, it was worse. I've done some crazy shit, and
Talk
even though I
about
was raising the bar, but it was dangerous.
Talking about Chappelle, what do you think about the Chappelle?
I know
show?
Chappelle personally.
I don't know what happened. I
know
still
him
don't know what
personally,
happened.
and that's him.
You're gonna, I'm with him. I stand with him.
Okay, but tell me
100%.
what happened.
And-
you should
and
have. You should have saved that
You
till
need
after.
to. You need to. All I'm gonna say is this is your project because you
Okay.
love doing homework.
Okay.
Oh, you haven't watched the Closer?
I don't know what happened.
Let
Watch
her
it.
watch it. Watch the new Chappelle show on Netflix,
It's called The
Okay.
Closer,
Okay.
and then you come back and talk about
and
it.
then we'll
Okay.
talk about that next week. It's a must talk about next week.
Mhm.
Oh, I'll go live with you on Instagram. We'll
Okay.
We'll do it. We'll do it. We'll talk.
When
about
you try to restrain comedy and stuff like that, that's when you know we're going bottom, because comedy's
You
comedy.
can't- It is what
Listen,
it
and
is. It's one of those
these
things.
son of a bitches heard Richard Pryor and Eddie
I
Murphy.
know.
I was
That's
saying
what I'm
Richard.
saying,
I said
yeah.
Richard
You
Pryor.
kidding
from
me?
the
This is
jump.
nothing.
This is
Eddie Murphy's delirious.
delirious.
Are you
Yes.
kidding me? You listen to that, they want to
All
kill
right,
him.
now I
Yup.
want to hear. So yeah, because that's all I've heard about it, but I don't understand what happened.
If I was a comedian, I'd be
Yeah,
like that. They'll probably be looking for. They'll have hits on me.
The kings
Yeah.
of comedy wouldn't be able to survive in this atmosphere
No,
with this
no,
generation
no.
of
cancel culture,
Oh my god.
everything
Entitlement.
hurts me. Yeah.
Fucking-
everything hurts. Oh,
There's
participation
soy all
award
over the
people?
I
place.
know, right?
Oh my, everything is soy. Oh my goodness.
You ever watched the Chappelle stand up?
Yeah, but I'm that person that can watch it a million times like it's the first time because I don't remember.
You gotta watch.
Well,
it.
he makes it in front of everybody. Put it like that. That's his. that's
Chappelle.
him.
Let me tell you about one thing Chappelle said. Chappelle said the studios loved when I played a slave.
Yep.
When I played a crackhead. When I used the N word. Oh my God, he's hysterical. The minute I started attacking the LGBTQ community, I couldn't say that. And then Chappelle said, yeah, but I can say the N word, and I can make fun of slavery, real issues, but I can't say this because it offends you. That's his point. That's what he's trying to get across. It's like, you're a hypocrite. You know what I'm saying?
Nobody
now that it
wants to be
touches
called
you,
that, yeah.
now you don't want to hear about it.
Yeah.
And that's what he's saying. He's not being phobic at all if you listen to it.
Okay. All right. We're gonna watch it.
And you saw the one previous to that when he was making fun of Jussie Smollett. Hysterical.
No, we gotta let her do.
Yeah, you
do-
Okay.
Let her
all
do
right.
this.
Oh my goodness.
That's the project for this week.
You could do a three person on IG now. Can you?
Yeah, I think you can. Yeah, you
Yeah.
can.
Yeah, you could do up to 4.
Yeah, we could definitely do
Pick
it.
a day and then we'll
Okay.
go on at night.
All right.
Listen,
Well,
I'm glad I grew up in an era with the best artists, the greatest artists in the world. I've met the greatest artists in the world because I used to run the Radio City security team for 10 years. So I met everybody. And I'm totally not into this whole Hollywood scene now. I'm a screenwriter and I do it for my own, not for fame, not to be around. I wouldn't even go to like a red carpet thing unless it involved me in some way. Just I'm not
Really?
into that stuff. You know what I
Wow.
mean? 'Cause it's
That's a
just-
shame.
there's
That was part
literally,
of the.
I think there's zero talent out there now. It's all about looks and what you believe in. Because if you have a certain belief, there's things that I believe in that they probably wouldn't even allow me in a Hollywood set, which is bullshit. You know, because back then when you had, John Wayne and those guys were serious conservatives. This is some wild shit, Clint Eastwood and stuff like that. And they were movie stars. It's all about making movies. Now you got to be down, which sucks. You know what I'm saying? But listen, if I got to starve, but I won't sell out. I just won't sell out. It just won't happen to me. I'll say, listen, we don't even have to talk about this. But don't tell me what I got to think and say. You know what I'm saying? But we don't have to talk about it. Let's just work together. I'm game.
Well, that's the important part. We can't talk about it and leave it there.
Yes, politics and religion is something that no one should ever talk about.
Wait, it's 3. What?
Yeah.
What is it? Relationships, religion, and politics. Yeah.
I'm good for I'm good to give advice.
You're good to
Especially like
Let's just comment
especially-
again that
yeah,
he's single.
Especially the women that are having problems with their men.
I can console you.
I could consider you're such an ass.
Misery loves.
I had a friend, right? His name was Kirby. He would love to be with married women that were having problems. I said, "Why do you do that?" And he was like, "You know what? Once they find out what a scumbag I am, they'll realize they have
How
something
good
good at home."
is
Yeah.
at home.
And he wasn't even that good looking, but he had he could literally make a woman that was a little
charm.
gullible, cheat. And then he'll treat her like shit after he had sex with her. Literally, that's the way he behaved and shit like that. But listen, I like you said, relationships have to be like you guys. You gotta treat her and she gotta treat you like you just met. You gotta be, spontaneous. That monotony, that routine, that shit gets boring. You start doing the same shit over, getting too comfortable, it gets boring. Even love making, do it in a restaurant. I had an ex-girlfriend. We did it everywhere, but in our bedroom.
Well,
But it worked out, But I'm just saying, but it worked out because it was exciting. It was never anything boring with her. Yeah, shit happens where you go separate ways, but we're still friends. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta, because I know dudes that they think their wives are like their daughters. And it's you gotta cater to me every time and stuff like. These women get bored, and I seen them walk out. Literally seen them walk out, and I try to advise her. Listen, you're a little too comfortable. There's a lot of good-looking guys out there that like to tell her things you're not telling her, and they find out the hard way. So.
give him that advice. No, I'm just kidding.
Nah, he seems like a good guy.
He said
He
that's
said that's
bullshit.
bullshit.
Like I'm very laid back. Like I am. I don't like to argue. I'm too old for that shit. I don't like to argue. And I've gotten to the point where the girls get angry. Oh, you don't care. It's just that I don't like to argue. When you calm down, we can talk about it. Yeah. But I'm not into that whole fighting shit no more.
I'm not into fighting anymore either.
No. Listen, I'll find a good woman.
I'm too old.
I say I'm gonna find a good woman one day.
And then your mom could stop harassing.
But you know what sucks, and this is the truth. Like the women that I've encountered, that I'm like, damn, I would love to be with her, fucking married. How the hell does that shit sucks? Because you're not trying to break up their marriages,
right?
But like, then the one that's single that wants you, you're not interested, but you could have her. It's always the forbidden fruit.
Yeah, I think that might be part of the.
And don't get me wrong, you can trust me with your life. He's like, fuck it, I want you away from Sally. Fuck this guy.
No. I get what you're saying, but I think part of that is just like you said, it's the forbidden fruit.
Yeah.
So it's
But
not
then
so much.
But you're probably saying like once you have that person, then it's like it's no longer exciting. I never got to the point like that.
Well,
I mean,
good.
one time I did.
Well,
but
oh,
it was,
okay.
Yeah, it gets emotional. Because as much as you claim, oh, this is just sex or whatever, it's not emotions get attached. Yep. Always. If you keep doing it, if it's a one night thing, it's fine.
Always.
But if you
anyone
keep
who
doing
says it doesn't.
No, it does. That's why I say avoid it. It's tragic and don't do it. And that's how it is. So that's why I'm single.
That's why you're single.
Yeah,
but we're working on that for his mom's sake. So.
Oh yeah, my mom be talking shit about me too. She be, this guy's gonna die alone. He never, he's about time he settles down, and because my mother's worried no matter what.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
all right, so my engineer is telling me it's time to go.
Who's your engineer?
I have an engineer.
Oh, Mikey.
Yeah.
Mikey good guts.
Thank you so much for being on air with us.
I had fun.
Thanks you everyone for watching. I am your favorite Mindminx. Again, this is the Mindminx Show. Don't forget, it is a brand new week, so go own it. And don't forget to mind your favorite minx and join us next time.
Please join her and subscribe to Mikey's page.
Yes.
Hold on.
Thank you, Sal.
Oh, what?
Tune in on IG sometime this week. We're going to discuss.
Oh, yes. Tune in to Instagram
Just let us know
Live.
when you watch the show and you tell us
Yeah.
what you think.
So I'll do that. I'll do that Monday, Wednesday, because Tuesday I have Lit Theories. My official sponsor of the Mindminx Show is Absalom, located at 223 DeGraw Avenue.
You have lip therapy? What is that?
Lit Theories.
Oh, okay.
So it's 4 women's opinions on a hot button topic, and we smoke some hookah. So
Oh, I seen you do that. With the tall girl. With
yes,
the,
see, she's a giant. She's a giraffe.
All they do is talk about bonchincheras.
No.
Bochin shit about the neighbors.
That's
No,
it.
no. All right, thank you.
Mándalo
Join in
pa-
next
Mándalo
time.
pa'l carajo. Mándalo pa'l carajo.